So how are you seeing sort of the new government objectives tying with this? So obviously Elms is coming up.
Yep.
And I was wondering if you could maybe explain a bit about that, because you know it better than I do.
Yeah.
And kind of how it's going, and if things are looking positive or.
Yeah, definitely.
Or not.
Yeah, I think it is looking positive. I think there's lots to do, but it's a new scheme. It's the first time it's really ever happened.
It's very exciting.
It's hugely exciting, and I think DEFRA and Janet Hughes are just doing an amazing job to really. I would not want to be in their shoes. Like the complexity, the amount of stakeholders you've got to keep happy, the fact that you're still answering to Treasury, the fact we've just had COVID, we're in COVID, whatever. It's not an easy position. But so Janet Hughes is doing an amazing job, and I met up with her about 6 weeks ago at the Houghton Estate just out in Norfolk, and essentially Elms Environmental Land Management Scheme is the new way that farmers or land managers are going to get paid to deliver public benefits. So previously we were in the Common Agricultural Policy, a load of cash came to the UK, distributed, and that was the basic payment scheme that paid farmers. And you just got paid on an acreage basis. You didn't have to do anything particularly, you just had to not be negligent. Whereas this new fund is all about delivering public benefits. So it's public money for public goods. And what that's causing is for land managers for the first time to have to be very strategic with what they do where. So, oh my gosh, as a farm, we're only going to get paid to deliver public benefits. Okay, well, what is our asset base? What could we enhance? Who's going to tell us where we should do certain things? So it's causing every land manager to start to have to think very strategically about what they offer to this new market, and therefore what's their future income stream going to come from that. And then so Elms as a philosophy, that's kind of how it works, and there's more detail obviously, but what's exciting, I think, is that the way that DEFRA are configuring it is that it's a scheme structured to enable corporates to also invest into that landscape. So it's not just public money that's going to create the environmental uplift, it's going to be an enabler, it's going to be a fund that's an enabler for corporates to invest as well. And that brings a world of different challenges in. What's the data language that's being used that everyone knows? What's the audit trail? What's the reporting structure? How do you notify land managers of the multiple opportunities? How do you make sure they're not double funded, triple funded, quadruple funded? And again, probably a slightly blinkered view, but you fundamentally need a simple audit trail that allows a land manager to essentially say, this is what I'm willing to contribute into the market, for the models to estimate the benefits that are going to be derived, obviously the payment rates, and then essentially maybe 70% of that new buffer strip or wildflower meadow or woodland block or hedge, maybe 70% is funded by, government, and 30% by EasyJet, or 30% by, the water company. And so there's quite a challenge inside that model to make sure that the audit trail is simple, that the contract structure is understandable for the land manager, and the administration is low, so that once that agreement is signed, that the verification is able to be accessed by the funding parties. So great, I've put in my new hedge or my new wildflower meadow or my new woodland block, DEFRA can be notified that I'm actually delivering against contract, and also EasyJet or whoever know that that contract is being fulfilled. The reason that that's important is DEFRA are going to be reporting to Treasury. This is public money that's being used, so we need a very clear reporting structure. And also the corporates are, maybe it's philanthropic money, but really, I guess what a corporate would want is to make sure that their investments are fairly recognised in their annual report, their shareholders get updated, their customers get updated, because at the moment as a new market, it's still a investment for a competitive advantage, predominantly. So Elms is it's an amazing opportunity. It's opening up this new market for corporates to invest into. It's got a world of complexity that will make it, that it needs to get through to make it possible. And I guess where we sit as the Land app is to try to make that process as simple and easy for all parties, because if the admin cost is high, the corporates aren't going to invest. If the admin costs are high, the public are going to be very frustrated that a lot of this precious public money is getting wasted in bureaucratic systems. And I think we're in quite a good position, because in the Land app we have about 40% of farmland in England has now been mapped onto the platform by our customers. And that's actually only the farms that have put their field boundaries in. So there's a lot more that's just rural estates. But anyway, the point is, what we want to do with that kind of customer base is to make sure as many people can kind of get into this new scheme, because we need a market as quickly as possible for elms to work, for the natural capital market to work, for essentially nature to enhance. So yeah, so elms is an amazing opportunity to bring this whole thing together. There's just a lot of complexity we need to work through as a system until it's a fully functioning marketplace that can really allow nature to thrive and can be replicated internationally as well.